using external resources is a great way to make your discussion posts more interesting and more persuasive. Let's take a look at a couple of articles and explore what makes some articles good sources of information and others not so good sources. And let's also look at ways of following threads to research ideas. So this first article, the most important compositional principles in graphic design. It was on the first page of results for the term design composition. And the information on this page is not bad, but it is very generic. There's no cited sources for the information. There are no developed ideas. So this is actually a pretty poor reference article to use. What this article is it's really well optimized for search engine optimization. Now, on the other hand, let's take a look at this other article, Conversational Design by Erica Hall. So the first thing is that this is on an established web design online magazine, A List Apart. So pretty much everything on here you can count on as having, well, for one thing, good writing and interesting and thoughtful ideas. So this article, Conversational Design, is a topic that the author is interested and passionate about. She develops the ideas. She provides resources from other authors, other researchers, and it makes it a really full, in-depth source of information. Now she also cites her claims. She cites sources for her claims. So right here it says, in 2015, the Pew Research Center found that 64% of American adults own smartphones of some kind, up from 35% in 2011. So what this does is it both gives us an ability to know how much we can trust this article. She's citing the source of information, Pew Research Center, which is a reliable source. However, the dates that she's citing are quite old, 2015 for the first, 2011 in the second. So in internet years, we're going back into ancient history. And so I might go, oh, I wonder what the Pew Research Center says today, and I could go back and look up to see if I can get more updated information on the same statistics. It also might question the credibility of the article as a whole. And as I'm reading the article, I can start thinking, like, is this information maybe a little bit out of date? Maybe I need to not trust parts of it. But the fact that she's citing her source gives us the ability to determine how much we want to trust her. And that's really important in establishing how effective or how credible a source of information is. Now, let's say we wanted to write a post about Craigslist on the discussion forum. Now, we could start off with a generic search term in Google, web design. And we could look up an article on web design or web design tips, something like that, and see if we can get something to, some information to help us analyze this website. Well, a very generic term like that is going to give us a very generic, boring page with information which may not be that great. Because you get these pages that are very well search engine optimized, but they're not necessarily well articulated, pieces of writing. So we could be a bit more creative. So for example, we could think, who is the founder of Craigslist? Founder of Craigslist is Craig Newmark. So then I could go on and say, Craig Newmark interview. And lo and behold, we come up with scores of interviews from one of the founders of a leading internet website. Now, do his ideas represent a definitive truth of web design? No, they don't. They are his perspective, but they are a very fascinating and well-informed perspective. And sources of information like this really can provide you really rich and meaningful sources for well-developed discussion posts.